This is The Fifth Estate, a conversation between young African scholars from the Fort Hall School of Government and Professor Mutahi Ngunyi. This Sunday, we will pronounce ourselves on the matter of the Government of National Unity. But before we do that, we will recite a Sunday school story. One day, a blind man went to Jesus for healing. Jesus opened his eyes, but the man complained that his vision was hazy. To make his vision clear, Jesus had to spit. Then he mixed his spit with mud and applied it on the man's eyes. When the man washed the spit from his eyes, his vision became perfect. Kenya, after the 2017 election, is like this blind man. We went to the carpenter from Nazareth for healing. Then he gave us a handshake. But after the handshake, our national vision is only hazy. Now Jesus has to spit in our eyes. And if he does so, the hazy vision of the handshake will become as clear as day. What we will see when we open our eyes is a government of national unity. And we support this vision.
Mzee Mwai Kibaki will probably go down in history as the most innovative president of our times. Although the South Africans voted him the most ugly president on earth, Mzee Kibaki was the most intelligent president south of the Sahara, north of the Limpopo. In fact, when he called us Kumbafu Bure Kabisa peoples, he meant it. As an intelligent man, Mzee Kibaki was genuinely frustrated by our Kumbafu-ness as Kenyans. But in our state of Kumbafu-ness, we have been forced to go back to the clever innovations of Mzee Kibaki. You see, Kibaki invented two types of governments. The first was the government of national unity. This government was invented during his first term. In his second term, he invented the coalition government with Raila on board. And why Kibaki called us Kumbafu is because he knew that we could not tell the difference between the two. Allow us to break this down.
When Raila Odinga swore himself in, he was making a statement. He was telling the nation that politics is governed by the law of opposites. And this is what he meant. To create law, you have to break it first. No change has ever happened without breaking the law. None at all. That is a fact. But Raila was also referring to the carpenter from Nazareth when he taught us that to live, you have to die first. To win, you have to lose first. And to emerge first, you have to be last. If politics is governed by the law of opposites, Raila will win because he lost. What his father stood for will become law because Raila broke the law. And Raila committed treason when he swore himself in because the 6.7 million people who voted for him were not wrong. If Uhuru has agreed to a unity government, it is because he has admitted that half the country was not wrong and that Raila had to commit treason to make this point.
Now, we will address William Ruto. And we'll begin by citing a moment described by Chinua Achebe. It was a moment when men were men and women loved it that way. It was a moment of hard decisions, but why women loved it is because men rose to the occasion. Men read the signs of the times and adjusted their choices accordingly. William Ruto thinks that the government of national unity is aimed at destroying him. And he is right. It is designed to destroy him. And if he does not read the signs of the times, it will destroy him. The wave of the moment is currently against him. However, when Elohim the Almighty wants to make a man president, he first thrills the man with the idea of becoming president. Then he ruthlessly kills the man. He bends him without breaking him. He breaks his will without breaking his spirit. If Elohim the Almighty elects a man to become president, he ruthlessly perfects the man. William Ruto should not resist the ruthless work of God. Unity government will be ruthless on him, but it will skill him beyond.
Now we will give William Ruto a story. One day, a Raila supporter died in a demonstration. When he arrived in heaven, he asked St. Peter whether this was Canaan, the Canaan Raila had promised. Baffled by the question, St. Peter ordered the supporter to spend one day in hell and one night in heaven. After the experience, he was to choose which of the two was Canaan. On the first day, the NASA supporter was put in a lift straight to hell. Then the doors of the lift opened. He was astonished. Hell was actually beautiful. It was made up of beautiful homes, big cars, free booze, and happiness galore. The next day, the NASA supporter was taken to heaven. It was boring. God was floating on the clouds. Then the NASA man was asked to vote between hell and heaven, and like most of us, he chose hell. St. Peter put him back in the lift and sent him back to hell. When the doors opened, the NASA man was shocked. Hell had changed. It was dark, dirty, smelly, and nasty. When he asked what had happened, Lucifer replied, "Yesterday we were campaigning, today you voted. That is the difference."
When Ruto was promised the presidency, they never told him it would be hell. And this is because hell looked like fun. Beautiful homes, free booze, and discos every night. But it was attractive because they were campaigning. Now that we voted, hell has changed. Everyone is on Ruto's case. Ruto this, Ruto that. Ruto here, Ruto there. If the presidency has become hell, Ruto should not allow the illusions of hell to disorganize him. We should remind him of the words of Theodore Roosevelt when he said, "It is not the man who points out to how the strong man stumbled or where the doer of deeds could have done better. The man who carries the day is the man in the arena." This is the man whose face is messy with dust, sweat, and blood. The man who errs and comes short again and again. Yet in this state of trying, he does not give up. He tries and tries. And if he fails while trying. Whether we like it or not, this man is Ruto. From a chicken seller to a future president, this man makes our dreams valid.
I support a government of national unity if it will be formed. A unity government is not a coalition government. A coalition is a forced government. It happens at zero option. But a unity government is a government of sheer necessity. It is not forced. It happens to make things move. It is a government of convenience. And this is what Uhuru should create at this moment in time. However, if we are thinking of the future, Mwai Kibaki taught us that unity government is temporary, but a coalition government is permanent. Instead of creating a unity government, each time we have a crisis like we have right now, Mwai Kibaki taught us to create a coalition government as a permanent feature of our existence as a people. This is complex, but it is also simple. We need to change the constitution and expand the executive. And we need to create a prime minister's position through parliament. Article 255 does not require us to go to a referendum. This position can be created in one afternoon, in my view. And if Uhuru and Raila support it, this will happen. I know no one heard me on this particular point, but this is the solution to a country at this moment in time, and Ruto should take it and run with it.
And now, our final thought. The only obstacle to a unity government is William Ruto. Or is it? In our view, Ruto is hounded by everyone because no one knows Ruto. In the Mwai School of Politics, Ruto was a boarding student. Uhuru was a night school student. And Museveni, Salva Kiir and the late John Garang attended the Mwai School through correspondence. If Ruto was a boarding student, then he has a Mwai cookbook of politics under his bed. This cookbook taught us a few lessons. One, they must never see you coming. If Ruto opposes the unity government, he must appear to support it. They must never see him coming. Two, Mzee Mwai twisted the words of the carpenter from Nazareth when he taught us this: do unto others before they do you. If unity government is formed to do Ruto, Ruto should do them before they do him. That is what Mzee Mwai taught us. Three, Mzee Mwai taught us to speak with a small voice, but carry a big stick. The lesser you speak, the bigger the stick. And this is what Ruto should do about the unity government.